Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial and just I look right here. I woke up this morning and I was like, I feel like doing a Plouise inspired look. So I had a creep on the Plouise Makeup Academy page and I came across this look here. Sorry, my lights are probably making this hard to show. I'm not sure which one of her artists done this look. It didn't say, but it was off the Plouise Instagram page. So I took inspiration and this is what I came up with. So I'm really happy with how my look turned out. I also used some of my fave Plouise products as I felt it was fitting since I was doing a Plouise inspired look. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below and please like and subscribe. I'm not getting involved. I'm just here to enjoy myself. GC style, you know what I mean? Okay, eyebrows are done. My eyebrows are absolutely atrocious at the moment, so I'm just going to ignore that, but we're going to move on. So I'm going to carve out my brows and prep my lid with Plouise base. This is in shade 2. That's amazing. If you don't already have it in your makeup collection, go and buy it because it is absolutely fantastic, especially when working with colour. It's just the way it grips pigment is just insane. It's fucking amazing. To carve out my brow, I'm going to take a Zoeva 144. It's just a little concealer brush and I'm just going to really flatten it out. And then I'm going to load the product up on my brush and carve out my brow. Then I'm going to take a Peaches and Cream PC10, which is my favourite concealer brush, and I'm just going to buff out the edges just so when I go in later on with my base makeup, you know, there's no harsh lines from this. So my base has turned a little bit pink because I did go ahead and start this look and then I hated the way it was going, so or then too. But I've just applied the what are these called? Oh my god, the paints in Glow Girl just into my waterline, and now I'm going to go in to the Secret Sinner palette. Now please ignore the absolute state of mine, it is wrecked. It is a well used palette. So yes, it's absolutely filthy. But I'm going to start off with the shade Love Shy. Take this on a Zoeva 224 and I'm just going to start to pack that on to my lid and into my crease. This is going to be my first blend, and yeah, I'm just going to keep packing it on until I'm happy with how opaque it is, and then we'll move on to our next shade. As you can see, I'm using like a pattern motion just to get that colour on, and then you will see me start to blend it once I'm happy with how opaque that colour is. So now that I am happy with how packed on that colour is, using a really light hand and circular motions, I'm going to start to tickle around them edges just to start to blend that colour. I just like to have a bit of a blend on each layer of colour I'm applying, just so like when I add the next colour, they just blend seamlessly together, so it's not as like harsh. So I'm going to make sure to blend this colour up above my natural crease line because I am going to be doing a cut crease. I create a new crease for myself because I do have a little bit of a hooded eye, so if I was to follow my natural crease line it would just get lost. So I'm taking the colours quite high just so when I go to cut my crease there's depth still there and the cut crease just isn't getting lost. The next shade I'm going into is Velvet Kiss, which is a gorgeous, it's kind of like a cherry red shade, and I'm going to take another Zoeva 224 and same technique as last time. I'm just going to pack it on. Once I'm happy with how opaque it is, then I will blend it out. So I'm just kind of going like 50% over that shade Love Shy and then like 50% over it. and that's where I'm applying this shade. So yeah, I'm keeping it obviously, I'm going to do quite a rounded eye today, so I'm going to keep my shades in that shape. And as always, going back in with my previous shade just to reintroduce that colour, making sure that it is not getting lost. Next, taking the shade Dreamy, which is the orange, and I'm just taking this on a blank canvas E10, which is a fab little blending brush, and then just going around the edges of Velvet Kiss. Going into the shade Climax, which is the yellow. I'm going to take that on a Zuba 224 and just blend along Dreamy. And then, as always, going back in with my previous shades. I think going back in with your previous shades just really helps mush everything together really nicely as well, and just get a nice blend between all your colours. So that is my blend done. As you can see, I've just cleaned off my lid a little bit just to prepare for my cut crease. So usually I just use a Q-tip to do so, but I'm all out of them, so I actually just took my little concealer brush and put some micellar water on it, and I literally just like wiped off the product, wipe off the product, and it done the job. So there's a little life hack for you all. So I have clearly skipped a few steps on this eye. My mom was in the shower and our shower is so loud, so I couldn't film, so I just went ahead and finished off this eye. But last clip I recorded, I just cleaned up my lid with the makeup remover. I always like to just clean up my lid space before I go ahead and cut the crease. It just means that like the product is mixing with the shadow underneath and creating like a funny colour, especially when I'm going especially when I'm going in with pigments on top and I want the pigments to be like true to their colour and stay nice and bright. I don't want like a weird, you know, colour underneath. I just like a clean base, so that's why I like to clean it up. So to cut my crease, two favorite products, and if you do not have these two, you need to get them. So it's the Plouise blank canvas paint and the acid rain. It doesn't say what this one is, but it's just a flat concealer brush. This is an amazing brush to cut your crease. The shape of it, as you can see, it's just the perfect shape and it kind of does the work for you, and this is just insane. Like, it is really amazing. I've said it in another video, I always used to use just the base to cut my crease, which did work fine, but it would kind of be a little bit slippy and slidey, obviously because it's a little bit more liquidy. But the fact that the paints are that bit more thicker, I just find you just get a really good clean cut with it. So yeah, I popped some onto my palette and let's get cutting the crease. So I'm just going to load up the brush with blank canvas, and as I said, I am going to cut above my natural crease line, so I'm not following my natural crease. So I know I mentioned this in another video, but when I'm cutting the crease, I like to just stamp it along and look straight into my mirror, just so I know what it's going to look like when it is open. Now I'm going to try and follow as much as I can and make these even the same as this eye, but I'm so bad. Like, my cut creases are never the same on both eyes. One's always like higher than the other, but it's fine. Okay, they're actually kind of even, so you're me. And then I'm just going to pull that product across my lid. Like, you can see how full coverage this paint is. It's just insane. So when I get to the edge where my shadow is, I like to just start to take the product off my brush and just kind of like pull it back into the cut crease, if that makes sense. Not blending, like not trying to blend out that product out this way, because it's just kind of going to mush together with that outer corner. I'm just pulling it in, but it just means that it's just going to soften up that edge. I'm so sorry if I'm like fully into my camera. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing. So just taking Love Shy and Velvet Kiss again, I'm just gonna blend them just into the edge of that cut crease, just so when I add my pigment on top there's not going to be too much of a sharp edge between the pigment and the shadow. So jumping into my Huda Beauty Neon palette, this is the orange one, obviously the fucking packaging is orange. And I'm going to take the yellow shimmer shade in this palette. It doesn't have a name. I haven't used this palette in ages and I forgot how stunning the shimmers are. They are absolutely fab. So I'm just going to pop this one into my inner corner. Like, look how pretty that is. It's such a gorgeous yellow. I love yellow, it's such a happy colour. I'm just applying this with a little bullet brush. This is a 230 from Zoeva. And then taking the orange shimmer on A So Sue by Kaylee SK05. This is a really lovely brush as well. It's kind of similar in shape to the Plouise brush that I love. I love it just for packing on shimmers. It works really well. So I'm going to take that shimmer shade and just pack that on all over the crease. Shimmers are just so gorgeous. Love them. And I think it's really rare to find shimmers in a palette that are actually like just really good, because I don't know, like so many palettes I feel like the shimmers are always so disappointing. But not these ones. Also the Be Perfect ones are brilliant. That's a palette that I can say that the shimmers are unreal in. But a lot of palettes they're just shy like, but these are fab. They're kind of like pressed, like it's quite messy. There is a lot of fallout with them, but they're really pretty. For on top, sorry my camera moves. So for on top of that orange shimmer, I'm going to apply Peaches and Cream. Hello focus. This is Space Hopper. It's a gorgeous orange shimmer with some gold going through it. So to pop this on top, as I've said in so many videos, I usually use NYX glitter glue to secure down my pigments, but I just haven't repurchased it, and I've just been using this technique to apply my pigments, and it works really well. So taking my eyelash glue, I'm going to pop a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to give it a good spritz of just any spray will do the job. This will just kind of liquidize it down a little bit, and then taking it on my brush, I'm going to pop it on over that orange and basically everywhere I want that pigment to stick, so as you would with a glitter glue. And just taking the pigment on top. Wait until you see how gorgeous this pigment is. It's so pretty. It's quite a neon orange. I love it. I actually love this technique of applying the glue to secure down your pigments. It works really well, and like the pigment doesn't budge. And I find just make sure that you're not like, you don't need a lot of glue to work, because you're diluting it with the spray. It's going to like water down quite a bit, so I find you don't need a lot of glue to use this technique. And if you're going with too much glue, it is going to ball up and go a little bit weird. You only need a little bit. So if you are going to use the glue technique for your pigments, just make sure you're only using a little bit. But yeah, no, I think it works really well to secure them pigments down. So I'm just taking a bit of Dreamy just along the edge, just to blend that words orange pigment in a little bit nicer. Now moving on to, oh actually, step I forgot, I'm taking the Plouise, hold on I can't read, A Pinch of Seduction. It is a beautiful gold pigment, obsessed. It's quite a light gold. I love applying this into the inner corners and the brow bone, because it is absolutely stunning. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a spray and just popping it into them inner corners, and then just a little bit on the brow, not too much, but I always like just to add a little something to the brow. So the liner, I'm going to take Inglot 77, the best black gel liner there is. So taking another brush from the Acid Rain collection, I absolutely adore this brush for doing liner. It is so good. I actually much prefer brushes like this for liner than an angled brush. I just find them easier. So I'm just gonna draw a line. Now I have mix some Duraline in with that liner just because mine is dried out a little bit. So it's just, I always like kind of adding Duraline in anyways to gel liners because I just find them easier to work with when they're a little bit more liquidy. So as I said, I added Duraline to my liner and it's just made it nice and liquidy, so I always find it's easier to blend because it's a little bit more liquidy. So I'm just taking a little flat brush focus like this and I'm just going to start to blend out those edges a little bit, then just picking up a little bit of black shadow just to further blend that. So that is the eyes done. I'm really happy how they turned out. I'm just going to pop on some lashes. Today I'm going to use the Tatty Lash TL31. I'm going to do my base makeup and then I will come back to finish off my under eyes and do my lips. So my skin is done. I didn't record it because I feel like I have so many tutorials where I do my skin and it's probably a little bit boring, but if you do have any questions about anything I use, just ask below in the comments. But oh my god, while literally as soon as I finish my eyes, which is so annoying because I wish I had it for this full tutorial, but my new tripod came. I ordered it off Amazon and I am buzzing about it. It's so good and it was so cheap. I'll leave a link for it down below if anyone is interested in it, especially if you're like starting out on YouTube or making IGTVs and stuff and you know you don't want to spend a fortune on a big expensive tripod. This would be such a good buy for you. But yeah, I'm really buzzing. You probably noticed the angle of this tutorial is probably a little bit different now, but I love it. So earlier on I did apply the what was it called, Glow Girl from Plouise into, oh my god, my mirror is filthy, into my waterline, but I actually want to do a nude instead just to make my eyes pop that little bit more. So I'm just going to go in with a nude, oh my god, the dirt of this mirror, a nude kohl liner just on top. It's probably going to mix with it, but even if it just creates like a lighter pink, I'll be happy. By the way, this is an Inglot pencil in 05, so just a standard nude. Moving on to the lower lash line, what goes up must come down. So I'm just going to use the same shades that I used above. So when I'm doing my lower lash line, I always start out with my lightest colour first and then go with my darkest. And I know on top I do opposite. I work from my darkest colour out to my lightest. I just find when I do that technique on my lower lash line, I always do it, and you think knowing that I do it wrong each time I would have learned not to do it, but it just happens every time I do. I always tend to take the darker colour way too far down and it just ends up looking ridiculous. So I just start out with my lightest shade. It just kind of helps me keep it all nice and controlled. So I'm going in with the yellow and just connecting it up to where the shadow is on top. I finished off the eyes with some mascara and I forgot to press record, but I've just outlined my lips with MAC Cork lip pencil, and now I am going in with MAC Peach Stock, which is one of my favourite nudes ever. It is so nice. And then to finish off the lips, I'm going in with Plouise Hollow Gloss. This is one of my favourite nude glosses ever, and she sadly discontinued it, but I hope she brings out something similar to this again because it is my favourite. So I'm just going to apply that on top. So this is the finished look. I am super happy with how this turned out. I am obsessed. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you are feeling nice, leave a little comment down below and let me know what you thought of this video. And that is all from me. I will see you in my next video.